Before we get into today's video, I just wanted to talk about Leadify for a second. It's a free service that tracks your matchmaking and Faceit stats. I personally really enjoy it. I use it more than this FaceitStats.com website. This just tells you how you do. This actually, Leadify, will tell you what you need to improve upon. So as you can see, my headshot accuracy and other things need to get improved upon. Also, you can go and check out your matches. It automatically uploads them. And as you can see, I've gone on quite the loss streak here in the past couple days. Only 5 wins out of the last, 20 matches, however many matches this is. But if I go to general here, I can see that out of the last 27 games that I've played in the past couple days, I still have 91 ADR, and my HLTV rating is not that bad. So although I'm losing, I'm not playing poorly. So thanks, teammates. Welcome back to another video, and I'm here to tell you that if you've only ever really pugged in Counter-Strike, you haven't played too many team environment things, right? You're missing out on so much. You're missing out on the best part of Counter-Strike. Why do you think pros play so much Counter-Strike? Well, all right, one, they're salaried, right? And they have to play Counter-Strike. It's their job. But the reason why they're staying motivated to isn't so they can get to, 3,000 elo on Faceit, 4,000 elo, whatever, right? It's not so they can get rank S. It's so that they can grow in a team environment and become the best team player, or a part of the best team in the world, right? It's so that they can win the championships competing against other teams. And the type of Counter-Strike that they play versus the type of Counter-Strike that you see in Pugs, especially in NA, are completely different games. So before I get into the real meat of this video, let me explain the actual benefits of pugging. The first one is that you get to play with a lot of variety of teammates, right? Because you're mostly playing with randoms unless you queue with a couple people here and there. You're mostly going to get people that have differing playstyles than you, and that's good because it makes you refine your playstyle to be one that works the best with everybody else's. So for example, if you play Mirage a lot and you're really used to, let's go to top mid. You're really used to not really taking that much mid control. Maybe if you do take mid control, you do it with a top mid smoke, and you get to here, and you molly into con, and maybe you flash out, right? And then once you get here, you're like, okay, all right, I'm gonna sit behind boxes, and I'm not really going to peek anything, right? I'm going to wait for the smoke to fade, and then I'm just going to hold for the cat swing, or, maybe I have an opper posted up here, right? And we're not really going to do anything with mid. But then you play, and you run into a 3-stack or a 2-stack, and they know how to take mid control, or they're much more aggressive when they're taking mid, right? So you can pick things up from them. It's a really nice learning experience to play with random people. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes they're complete dicks, but, you can't win everything. So instead, you have 2 people that are on your team, and they smoke window, they smoke cat, and what they're going to do is they're going to do kind of the same thing, right? They molly con, they're going to maybe flash out bottom mid, and then they're swinging out here, and they're watching for a guy to run through cat, and while these smokes are down, right, they're going to starting to get up towards connector, because now they actually want to do something with mid. Knowing what to do with mid is it's a difficult thing to master. It's easy to learn, right? And maybe they have one guy, re-smoke window or something like that. There's a flash into con, and then they're coming out, right? And then they're starting to come out. So that's, if you haven't played with people like that, you're like, whoa, what the heck is this? And you're following behind them, and you're like, okay, I guess we're going up into con. And now you have a new play in your playbook, right? You know what to do. Another benefit to pugging is that you learn what you do best, or at least what you think you do best, right? So maybe you're not the best guy who's, entering out on A site. You have a teammate that, flashes over for you. And you're coming out here, and you're not the best at getting these kills, right? You're not the best reaction flicker or anything like that. Maybe you're a smarter player, don't have the aim, and instead you like to do more lurk plays, right? You like to walk underpass, you hear the cat guy run up, you can hear if the guy's scoping window or something like that. You know that he's probably going to be looking at you con, right? And so you go get this window pick maybe, and then you have to worry about the cat guy, and you're just playing off your teammate's contact, right? So you get to learn what you do best because you get to just try out any role you want in any match, right? You're not locked into a role, locked into a position. If you are, if you feel like, oh, you can only play A, just the next game, say, hey, I'm going B this round. They have no idea that you've never played B before or anything like that. You have so much freedom, and you can explore and discover different things that you can do or that you're good at doing instead of just being locked into a role, which you are sometimes in a team. And the third most beneficial thing about pugging is that you're forced to improve your aim. I know that in my last example I just said maybe you're not an entry and maybe you can just lurk, but at some point you're going to have to come out A. Whether you're third man out, whether you're first man out, you're going to have to come out A, or you're going to have to go out B, and you're going to have to be able to hit these shots. And if you're not hitting these shots, then you quickly learn that that's something that you need to improve. Especially if you're trying to rank up, if you're taking the game more seriously, which I'm assuming most of you are since you're on a YouTube channel for Counter-Strike tips. I'm assuming you're trying to improve at the game. And so, just learning that, okay, maybe my aim isn't up to standard. I'm thinking properly, I kind of know where they're going to be, but I just can't kill them, right? So obviously your aim's going to slack, and you're forced to improve it. If you don't improve it, you go down the ranks. But if you want to rank up, you have to improve your aim, which is always, aim is... It's such a crucial part of the game. Who would have thought? A game about killing people, you need to aim well. But that's one of the things that carries over into actual team environment play. That's really important, and pugs can help you with. Now we're into the meat of the video. Now I said that by pugging and only pugging, you're missing out on the best part of Counter-Strike. I do mean that, right? The best part of Counter-Strike, in my opinion, is working with 4 other people, trying to create something, testing it out against people of your similar caliber, skill level, whatever you want to call it, and it actually working. And it working well. And it working enough that you're going to win the game against other people that are dedicating a decent amount of time to this, practicing as a team, all that. Being able to beat them is so satisfying. Being able to put in the time and improve not just your aim, not just your positioning, right? But you working together as a team, you meshing with other players, it's so much more satisfying than winning a pug. League matches are great, especially on ESCA in my opinion, where you have 2 a week, and all week is just build up to these matches, right? After you play a match, you can't just re-queue and play another directly after. You only have 16 league matches per season. So you really have to make those count, and knowing how important that they are and having to rise up to the occasion, the adrenaline, all that, it's the best part of Counter-Strike in my opinion. And to be completely honest with you all, if I had not picked up League play, if I had not really found a team or anything like that back 3-4 years ago, I wouldn't be playing Counter-Strike right now. I don't have any motivation to really grind out pugs. The only reason why I would want to grind out pugs is so I can stay warm, stay composed, keep my skill level for League play. There's an actual goal in sight with League. It's not just, let's get to this elo, right? And there's so much that you can do, so much preparation, so many things that you can learn that pugs just don't teach you. Now, a really important aspect of Counter-Strike that pugging does not teach you, even higher level pugging really to an extent doesn't teach you this, but it's called defaulting. And defaulting is when you're on T side and instead of just going for straight map control or immediately doing something, you just kind of sit back and wait for the CTs to either mess up or maybe they go for some map control, and instead of them, let's say, for example, they push into A ramp, right? They're really expecting players to be down there. They smoke deep. I forget how to smoke deep A ramp. I can't do it for this example. But you smoke deep A ramp, right? You do something that lands here, and then you flash in, and you're taking this map control, right? And you're expecting to catch a guy off guard, be able to get the kill, right? And nobody's there. You just used a ton of utility, you completely gave up all the information about what you're doing because you just used so much utility and you made so much noise doing it, and nobody's here, and you're like, okay, alright, do I have to hold on to this map control or do I fall back, right? Because this smoke's only going to last so long. You can then re-smoke it, have your teammate that's with you re-smoke it, but that's only going to last another 20 seconds. So all a T has to do is sit back here, right, wait for the push, just chill, 40 seconds, and then the smokes are gone, and then they group up with another teammate, they flash in, and now you're dead. Or you have to go, okay, well, the smoke's fading, I guess I won't really hold this map control anymore because I don't have an advantage on it, and I'm just going to fall off, and now you all use so much utility on the CT side to do something that ended in nothing, right? They can still go A. You have not secured the site at all, and you just have wasted a ton of utility, and you still have over a minute left in the round, right? So being able to play slow, being able to default properly and really get the information will screw up CTs, especially lower level teams that are expecting. The only thing in their playbook is fast plays. So they're like, all right, they flash over twice B. They go, okay, it's going to be a B hit. They use a molly, and then nobody comes out B. And they're like, okay. And then you guys flash over again. Guess what? This guy doesn't have a molly anymore. And now it's going to be a lot easier for the Ts to get out because they don't have to worry about smoking something off or running through a molly or taking that utility damage because the CT's dumped it. And then you have to play risky as a CT, right? Because you're like, okay, flash is over. Last time they didn't come out with this. I'm just going to wait for their second execute. The TC, hey, they didn't molly. Let's go for it right now. Let's catch them off guard. And then you have to be ready for the fast play and the slow play at the same time. So it's really difficult for the CTs if all the Ts are on the same page, just playing slow. And the problem is, Pugging does not teach you that. You don't learn that in Pugging. Now, defaulting really isn't that difficult to learn. It can be taught. It's not that bad. The most difficult portion of learning how to default properly is just the patience. Because if you've only pugged, you're used to things happening in the first 40 seconds of a round. And if nothing happens, you feel like you're not getting warm, you're losing some of your aim, you're losing some of your focus, and you just can't sit there and hold something for 30, 40, 50 seconds even. You just feel like, okay, all right, let's do, you have this itch of like, I need to do something right now, right? I'm wasting time. But in reality, that's not at all true. If you watch any pro match, the reason why Counter-Strike is such a great game to really watch and understand is that there's a minute of setup for each round. The casters can go in and say, all right, well, they're pulling the rotate over here, they're setting this up, they're slowly working here. It's not execute, right? It's a slow build up, and then in the last 20 seconds, they're trying to get bombed down and all this, and there's so many different aspects that you're not used to if you only pug, right? So having that ability to play slower and to really be patient with things is crucially important. And I'm not saying that you can't play slow in pugs. It's doable. If you queue with all your friends or something and everybody's on the same page, you can play slower. And as you move up in the ranks, you will see that the game does slow down a bit. But for the most part, right, it's still pretty quick. The only problem with playing slow in pugs is that the CTs aren't going to respect you as much, right? If you don't put anything, wrong camera, if you don't put anything towards A, they're just going to push through, and it's 30 seconds into the round, you're holding for a top mid push, and you got a CT and T-spawn that's shooting at you, right? So it's a little bit difficult to do it in a pug, but you'd be surprised how effective it is in pugs as well, right? Because the CTs just like, they're going to push through A, just like that. They don't see anything for 30 seconds. They don't hear anything. They're going to push through. And if you hold a solid default, you'll get those kills easy peasy. So that's my little cheat code on how to rank up in pugs as well. But you have to learn how to play patient. That's my lesson for today. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you want a demo reviewed by me, not a demo review, but your demo reviewed by me, please feel free to click the join button on my channel page, become a channel member, and I will review one of your demos once a month on a Sunday. I stream just about every Sunday if I have a demo to do, and yeah, you guys get feedback. If you don't want to do a full demo, you just, hey, my T-side's really struggling, I don't know what the hell's going on, you can get a half demo review for half the cost, right? So it's pretty flexible. I feel that I do a decent job. You get to have your demo put on, roast basically in front of 30, 40 people. And yeah, it's a fun environment for everybody.